Hey there, lovely people. This is Sean, and I'm at the lovely place. Me and Mrs. Lovely took about a 45-minute drive today, and after looking a little bit on Marketplace for a chipper shredder, I came across this guy. Been looking for a long time. This is about approximately, according to the previous owner, about a 5-year-old chipper. It's a DR. He called it a DR 500. I think it was a CS 500-CHP. I've not been able to find that on YouTube, and I've not been able to find it on any websites. I found a 500 XL, and it seems to have the same specs. So maybe this is what they called a 500 XL. Now there's a 501 and a couple of other things. But so it says that it will do, and I witnessed it actually, up to 5 inches in diameter on a big limb right through this chute right here. And in the upper chute, it will do all the small stuff up to 1.5 inches, and including leaves. It'll shred them up too. It's got these hammers down here, and they spin around and just beat the snot out of everything. And that was actually my favorite part of this. It shoots it out down here on the bottom, and so that I'm not so crazy about. I would really like a chute that goes up high that you can put it into a bed of a truck or your Ranger or something like that. But this thing looks very clean. However, it wouldn't start, so I'm gonna have to go buy a new battery. We put it on a boost, and we got it started through the key electric start here, but it took us boosting it, jumping it. And you have your on and off gas down here, your choke, your throttle, your air filter is up here. Pretty decent sized gas tank. He says that it will give him about 2.5 hours worth of work. And here's the belt and the cover for the belt on this side. But it was definitely well cared for as far as the cleanliness is concerned. But what I noticed that concerns me when when we got it cranked up and everything was it really shakes a lot. I'm curious if any of you guys who have one of these know if that's common. And of course you'll get to see it run and do some work, and we'll watch this thing in action and see what it'll do. But I'm gonna go pick up a battery for it first and get back to work with it on you. But you'll see it right here in just a second. But yeah, let me know in the comments after you see this thing running if you've experienced the kind of shaking that this has. It kind of concerns me. In fact, he said the only thing he's ever done to this thing, of course, besides servicing it, is he re-welded this fender here on it. And I said, well, what happened? What caused it to come off? And he said, the only thing I can think is it just shook so hard that it shook it off. It just had little bead welds. This is the original welds over here. Pretty decent welds, it looks like, on the original. And I said, did it roll over? Did it flip or anything like that? He said no, but he is the second owner. He said the guy who owned it before him was a older gentleman. I guess that means my age. I don't know, but he had bought it new and used it for a while, and then this fella bought it. He'd done a lot of clearing with it. There's a couple of zerks on it. There's one right there, and then on the other side, let's walk over here and let you see. Underneath the belt area, I don't know if you can see or not, but there is a Zark up in there somewhere so that we can grease it. The oil looked clean and good. He said it's February right now, mid-February, and he said he changed the oil and did all the greasing and servicing on it in the fall. So we should be good. I'm about to do a bunch of oil changes to Little Red, which is my 500 Polaris Ranger crew that we've kind of decked out with some additional seating because we use that thing a lot. And what I call Little Blue, which is the 550 Sportsman Polaris. It's a 4-wheeler. And I've got to change the oil on the Swisher, which is the pull behind that I use with Little Blue. And I've got to change the oil on the DR walk behind. And if you've not seen, if you're new to our channel or whatever, I've got a lot of videos on this DR walk behind here, this brush and field mower. This is the Pro Max 34, and there's a lot of videos on this Swisher, me pulling it behind the four-wheeler. And of course there's Big Red. That's my Case IH 75C. But yeah, here's Little Red right here. But yeah, real soon you're gonna see us doing some oil changes on a lot of this equipment. We're gonna have to be putting all this stuff to work. I mean, the DR, I've been so busy with the propane and everything that we've been doing, running the pipe. And again, that's on another video as well, where we ran the black pipe inside and getting this propane tank installed and this trench dug all the way up to the barn. If you're new to the lovely place, we are creating an off-grid homestead where we can be self-sufficient. Gonna have nice gardens out there. The goal eventually is to build a nice home right here overlooking those nice Tennessee hills out there in the distance. But in the meantime, we're turning the front of this into our tiny house, and we got a lot of work to do. So we're going to go get a new battery. I'm gonna go over here and check on this fire burning a little bit of stuff here, and we'll get a battery on that thing and see if we can get to chipping a little bit for you. All right, well, we're back, lovely people, and it's a different day. I went to get batteries, or look for a battery, and they were very expensive. So I checked on Amazon and I found one for about half the price. Let's hope that it's not half the quality. What I was looking for on this particular battery, the one that I had, I did notice that it was 330 cranking amps, cold cranking amps, and that's what this, or 303 I think. Anyway, up just above 300, and that's what this one it was the same. So I grabbed this one, it came in. All right, let's get it on there. looks like it got stuck in there. Let's see what we can do. All right. Oh, you just got to pull it back out, that's all. See what happens, see if it'll start. Good. I'm gonna have to, of course, take it apart, open it up a little bit, check all the blades on the big wheel there. Make sure that all those chipper blades are sharp. If they're not, we'll get them sharpened up and we'll show you how we do that. But even though it shakes and shimmies a lot, I feel like it's doing its job for the price I got it at. I believe it was a good deal, and I think it's gonna come in handy here at the lovely place. All right, so I thought I would just give you a little bit more info on this chipper shredder. It's the DR Done Right Professional Power. This is the CS500 CHP, and like I said earlier, I wasn't able to find this exact model as a current model. They told me it was about 5 years old. But yeah, this flywheel in here, it obviously seemed to be sharp. However, it might need to be sharper, I don't know. But looking at this little piece of wood that it spit back out, I look at that and it looks like some nice, this side didn't get cut of course, but all of these sides, some nice clean cuts. However, it's spinning so fast, you know, who knows if it's that sharp or not. But we definitely will get inside there and look and see. You can't see any of the blades the way it's setting now, but they're mounted on the side of this flywheel. That looks like a pretty heavy duty flywheel in there. And then of course, like I showed you earlier, under here it's got all these spinning hammers. Those things, they go and they spin all around as it's going, and it did an amazing job. So we had this good stuff here for the chipper. It really took that wood down to some small bits. I'm impressed with that. And then down here you'll see some of this larger shredded stuff, make a nice little mulch. But yeah, we're going to be able to use some of this for garden beds and for trails, perhaps through the woods out there, and also, you know, in between rows in the garden. This would be great stuff to walk on to prevent weeds from coming up as quickly. Like I mentioned earlier, I really would have loved to have one that had a chute that I could shoot it off into a truck bed, but you see what this does. This puts it right on the ground. Now, the guy I bought it from, he did say that he had built himself. He put a piece of plywood down and he put sideboards on the plywood, slid it up under there, and then he would drag it out and then slide it where he needed to go with it and dump it. So there's a lot of different ways you could do this. Try different ways to make this work for your best needs. What I'm planning on doing is just taking my grapple on my tractor and having this where I need the mulch to be, and then taking my piles down wherever I have this, and then you know, just chipping it in place, moving it a little bit, chipping it, shredding it, putting it right where it needs to go. But yeah, this is the It's a 21 foot-pounds of torque. It looks like it's a 420cc engine. I was wrong earlier. I think I said that I believe that it was the same engine that's on my DR brush and field cutter, but I don't think it is the case. 2600 RPM on this one, but it's got a gas shut off here. There's the choke, here's the throttle. And of course, yes, it does have a pull string, but I wanted to make sure that the battery was going to do the job if I got a new one, and it did the job good. And you know, I noticed after it ran for a little while that it did not seem to vibrate as bad as it does when it's a cold start. I believe it just needs to warm up, and possibly that makes a difference, I believe, in the vibration. So anyway, I believe this is going to be good. This was just serviced. The oil was changed in the fall of last year. It's February. I don't think it's been used much since then, according to the previous owner. The oil looks clean. So we're going to, and I'll check the air filter, but we're gonna clean up the air filter. I'm gonna get busy doing some service on some of this other small equipment. I've got a lot of oil changes to do. So if you like, you know, small equipment, if you like doing trails, making trails, cutting trails, building a homestead, where we are going to become self-sufficient off the grid. We're going to be putting solar panels out there, bringing it in, tying it into inverters and batteries. Going to have off the grid water collection from the roof in these huge containers, and just doing a lot of good things up here so that we can take care of family and take care of friends and ourselves as the time comes that we need to. If that's interesting to you, please like the video, subscribe, and come back and check out some of the other stuff we're doing. But we'll see you next time here at the lovely place. Thanks for joining.